Welcome back to Tales from the Far Territory, where I'm completing all of the tales in a reasonable amount of time, hopefully. If you like this content, please leave a like. If you have any feedback or comments, please leave a comment. And if you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button. Here we are at Broken Railroad. We are about as ready as we're going to get to move onward into Forlorn Muskeg. Today I want to head over there, repair the first tower, and find the bunker in Bleak Inlet, and maybe repair the second tower over in Mountain Town and head over to Hushed River Valley. We'll see how long things take. I'd love some more cloth. Some things do need repairing, but it's not that cold. I have plenty of food, plenty of water, so I'm just going to get going. So it's a foggy and cold day, but that's all right. The path out of Broken Railroad to Forlorn Muskeg is pretty linear. You just go up this path out of the maintenance yard, and then you make a left at the fork, and that's it. You just follow that all the way out. It's a bit of a long journey, and on higher difficulties, it can be a little tough if you don't have fire, because there are wolves. There can be quite a few of them, but we don't really have to worry about that. It's kind of funny to see these wolves just panic on this mode. I mean, there's so many of them, and they're all just crying and running scared. It's kind of silly. Let's go up here. So normally when you're heading to Broken Railroad, you have to go around this. By heading down there, going all the way up around. But you actually can goat up this as well. So you don't really have to go around. I can show you that. You goat up right over here, right? It's almost not even worth calling a goat. Let's see. And there you go. You're up. So you can skip that whole side area. Now there can be a little bit of miscellaneous loot over there. There's a backpack, and I think there can be a couple other things. I think there's some cattails down there, but honestly I wouldn't go out of my way. I would just go right over. So a lot of people don't like Forlorn Muskeg. I think because of all the weak ice, and there's a lot of wolves here, and because there are very few warm interiors, very few structures. But there's a ton of cattails, and wolves won't cross the weak ice. So if you're not in a hurry, it's not that bad. And I think the layout is also pretty straightforward. I think of it as basically a big rectangle, and there are points of interest on the center line across that rectangle, crossing between Broken Railroad and Mystery Lake. and there are points of interest on the corners of that rectangle. Right, this corner over here, it's one corner of the rectangle. That's very close to Spence's family farm. And the tower I'm going to is going to be that corner over there. So it's actually not a very complicated map. Now, of course, if there's a blizzard or something, you could get lost. But if you have a general idea of where you're going, you can always follow the outside of the map. It's not a very big map. And then that'll make it a lot harder for you to get lost. But I do, you know, I know people don't like it. And so maybe I'm missing something there. If there are some reasons you don't like it other than, you know, the weak ice or whatever else I've talked about, or in the way that I've talked about, maybe I've overlooked something. You know, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Because maybe there's something just really terrible here that gives people a lot of trouble. But I kind of like it. I don't know why I'm taking time to loot right now. I just want to go repair this thing. I will take scrap metal, though, because that can be useful. Now, Bleak Inlet, where we're going to go next. That is a place a lot of people don't like, and I largely agree. If you have a bow, then it's not quite so bad, or if you have some other, you know, firearm, if you're on Stalker or something, then it's not too bad. But there are so many Timberwolves, and it's a super cold region. I don't know if it's still the coldest in the game, but before the addition of the far territory, I believe it was the coldest in the game. These guys. It's really funny playing on this mode with these wolves just panicking. And look at how slowly I get cold. I've been walking for hours. And I'm fine. I mean, my clothes are decent, but they're not incredible. So there's the tower right up there. There's another tower in Forlorn Muskeg. Whoop, better be careful there. Which is over there. Let's see. It's like over there. Right, so if you think about this as like a big square, then this tower is in the bottom right corner. And there's another tower in the top left. That tower can be repaired, and I think it can be repaired. I'm not actually sure. And I believe that it can help you locate treasure in surrounding regions or something like that. But it's not actually connected to the Signal Void quest, so I'm going to completely ignore it. So see, there's just this little path right up here, and that'll take me right up to the tower. Alright, so we are approaching the Forlorn Muskeg Tower. And this is in the southeast corner of the map. Hopefully there's a battery up here. If there's not, then this is actually a little bit of a problem. We won't be prepared to handle this. But most of these towers usually have batteries at them or nearby. I have gone to... Oh, okay. I have gone to the tower in Pleasant Valley and not found a battery before, and that's a bit of a pain. So you want to check this bin. Yep, there's a battery, some wires, replacement fuses, everything except for scrap metal. And then here's the box. So we're going to fix this. All right. So once I pull this lever, two things are going to happen. I'm going to get a quest update. Investigate signal in Bleak Inlet. So now we head over there. And the other thing that happens is now, tonight, there will be an aurora. So when you repair one of these towers, you get an aurora that night. And that makes it so that you don't need to go into the next area and just wait around and hope for an aurora. It's guaranteed. Now, I also believe that in zones with... I'll probably get a sprain here, yep. In zones with bunkers, I believe auroras are much more common. So if you happen to miss it, then don't worry. You'll probably get one pretty soon. So here we are at the transition cave, the Bleak Inlet. The first thing I'm going to do is sleep in here because I'm exhausted and I'm losing health. That's not too important. What matters to me right now, since I'm already full on health, is that I can't sprint. I would like to be able to sprint. I also have a sprain, but that's alright. I can sleep that off too. Let's have a little food. Have a drink. I'm not going to sleep too long because I want to get to that aurora in Bleak Inlet. All right. And we are ready to go. Ooh. This guy had a bad time. Hope no one needs this anymore. Fell right through. I'm not going to take that. I was hiking once in the Rocky Mountains, and we had walking sticks. I was with a group of people. And at some point, my stick, I was in the front, didn't touch anything. It just kept going. We thought, you know what? That's the end of our trip today. I don't want to end up like this guy. Alright. I'm going to sleep a little longer because it's not Aurora time quite yet. Let's do maybe 2 hours. Alright, it is time. Now I have no idea where this thing is. But I guess we'll find out. Oh, I got something. I wonder if it was just taking a minute for it to kick in. So you want that needle to go to the right. I remember when the game first came out, people thought that you had to center it, right? That the needle would point at the right direction, but that's not the case. If you're pointed in the right direction, the needle will go to the right, and that beeping tells you how far away you are. Getting close. Here we go. Here we are. First bunker.
Hope nobody needs this anymore.
This canned ham and canned corn. Those are pretty rare outside of bunkers. I think they can show up in the far territories. I'm not sure, but they're primarily in bunkers. I might tear up this cloth when I'm out of here, when I'm leaving. Now, I had to pause for a minute because I actually came into this bunker, but I had voices set off because I don't really like listening to what Astrid and Will are saying most of the time. I'll come back for that.
That's smarts.
Yeah, see? Like that. It's a little bit annoying.
Too much stuff to carry.
But there are voice lines in here. And those were turned off too. So I actually left the dungeon. The dungeon. I left the bunker and reloaded just to change my audio settings. So here we go.
Session 5, Project Medical Officer interviewing Patient 7. Let's visit the second instance again. First occurrence. What do you remember?
The sun was out, but it was cold at the river's edge. There was a group of us that day. Lots of laughing, yelling. Some were in our heads. No one was getting in the water. I guess I liked being first. I didn't even jump, just slipped in quietly away from everybody. The water was clear, but bitter cold. I thought the bottom was closer. My head went under right away. God, I was a lousy swimmer. No one noticed me struggling in the deep pool.
Carry on from where you were last session. Find the ending sequence. What do you see?
My hand reaching for a flat gray stone at the water's edge. I grabbed it. I pulled my head out of the freezing water. A breath. The sun shining through the trees. Above us was the sun out? I thought the rain. No. I don't know. That wasn't it.
Keep hold of that image. It's okay if it fades a little. Breathe. Try going again. Second instance.
Cool. That's not very much to go on. So we have somebody doing some sort of therapy or interview, having this person recall some memories, or maybe a dream or something like that. Kind of
I need
unclear.
to drop something.
All right, Will.
The mine is a real shithole. If my job is to shepherd the men, then their job is to keep the roof from landing on all of us. But this week we found a decent chamber to start building Rudiger's gadget. Teams 1 and 2 are with the program, but on shaky ground. Team 3 is getting volatile again. And while it's unclear what they have planned, I've called for additional security to fly in immediately. The medical officer has been conducting alignment interviews and has made some troubling observations. I'm still considering the implications, both for the men as well as project viability. My hope is that the crew can keep their shit together long enough to finish Phase 1, and we can get out of this godforsaken place. It's starting to get to me.
Objective complete. Search Bunker Alpha. We got the security officer's notes. We got those interview notes. And we got a bunch of corn. All 3 important things from this bunker. All essential for the story being told in the Tales from the Far Territory. I wonder if that medical officer is supposed to be...
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Okay, Will. So here's what we're going to do about you, buddy. I wonder if the medical officer is Astrid from Wintermute. Or maybe Astrid is some of the help they called in afterwards, or maybe it's totally unrelated. It's pretty unclear to me, at least, how Wintermute relates to survival mode. I think that'll probably become more clear when we finish Wintermute. You know, I always thought maybe Wintermute is a prequel to survival mode, mostly because in Wintermute there are other survivors. There's people who are alive, and in survival there's not. So my thought was, well, you know, this 40-year-old NPC I meet in Wintermute wasn't born after survival, right? Probably didn't show up afterwards. Most of them are from here. So survival might take place after Wintermute, or they're just totally different things. They might be totally different things. But we don't know. And so right now, I like to look for those connections and try to think about how these stories might be related, how these tales might connect to Wintermute, or even just to our own situation in some way. There might be no connection. Alright, I'm not going to stay here, I don't think. I think I'm just going to head out and get back to Forlorn Muskeg and try to start working on the next tale. But first, I'm going to do some clothing repairs, and then we'll head out. Alright, that was Bunker Alpha. If you liked that content, please leave a thumbs up. If you have any feedback or thoughts, please leave a comment. I love hearing from you. I love to respond to all of your comments. And if you want to see the next episode or see any of my other content, please don't forget to subscribe. I will see you next time as we complete Signal Void in a hopefully reasonable amount of time. Thanks for watching.